It's your boy Baki back with another one, baby. You know what it is. Got Dougie here. We about to tackle another review. Let's get it. All right.
Attack of the Clones.
We're here for Star Wars series. This is episode 2. We're knocking out episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
One the pink, one the stank.
Hit him with
it's kind of what it feels like watching this movie. You're like, damn, this feels so good. But it's like, damn, there's something in my ass, too.
You get rocked both ways, right?
Like, damn, that's beautiful. Man, Coruscant is so beautiful. Wow, but did we just see Jar Jar break the fourth wall and smile at the audience and go, Misa's still here even though you fucking hate me? Did we just see that?
We did.
Did we just see Anakin grow up and get all pervy?
Why not?
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Sorry, milady.
Really pervy. All right, well let's do the good, bad, and ugly. I think
Okay,
that's the
okay.
best. I think that's the best way we tackle. So let's do good, bad, and ugly.
Okay. John Williams' score, always beautiful.
Great moments.
Very
Very beautiful.
Like that Cross the Stars theme and all that.
Beautiful.
Coruscant had some pretty cool. Okay, Coruscant had some pretty G-ass fucking. Okay. Let me just say how I felt when I initially saw this movie, okay? Because when I first saw this movie, it was a positive experience for me, more so than The Phantom Menace. To me, it was noticeable, at least in the first couple of seconds, that the acting might be a little better in this movie. I guess it was a little more well acted, but that's just because there were some parts of The Phantom Menace that fell so flat.
Super flat.
But there's shit in this movie that falls flat too. Can we agree that most of the damage that's done to these films are done on Tatooine for some reason? Me and my oldest son were talking about this. We're like, all the bad shit and boring shit in Star Wars happens on Tatooine. That planet sucks the biggest fucking...
That might be the point of
Rancored penis.
I think it's just supposed to be a shitty planet, you know?
It's like the fucking Bakersfield of planets.
All right, but hold on. So what else?
Okay, so let's get back to the good.
All right, so I like fucking, again, these motherfuckers are so arrogant. The same thing happens, bro.
Hold on, let's stay positive.
No.
Stay good.
This is what I like though. It's like it's on purpose.
Okay.
You're over there dying, bro.
That's what happens when you're old, man. You smoke out of a bong.
You want something to drink?
No, I'm good, man. It'll pass in 45 minutes. I'm just joking.
I got the lemonade. You want lemonade?
No, go ahead, man. This is part of the show.
Okay,
That's what makes it funny.
All right. So, fucking when Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Windu are talking, and they're walking around, they're having this conversation, and Obi-Wan's stressing that Anakin's not ready to be a fucking bodyguard for fucking Padme or whatever, and they're like, all right, we gotta do what we gotta do, and Yoda says basically everyone's becoming more and more arrogant.
A trait becoming more common with the Jedi.
Yeah, he's saying all the Jedi are just becoming fucking just more and more arrogant in general. You know what I mean? It's like they saw it in front of them and then they still shot it down. Like Yoda said that and then he looked at Obi-Wan like he was talking to Obi-Wan, but he should have really been just looking at himself at the same time, and he never did. You see,
he was passing that judgment.
Exactly, but he should have been really passing the judgment.
But
himself.
Yoda was always concerned, and so was Mace Windu.
They both were. But they
were both still blind.
Exactly, because even Mace Windu, he's like, don't forget, if the prophecy is true, then he's supposed to bring balance to the Force.
Yeah, no.
You said it.
Whoa. But Palpatine wanted them to figure out. He knew, obviously, they were going to find out eventually. It was right in front of their fucking face. So Mace Windu coming after him is what he wanted.
Yeah, but he didn't come after him at first. He like in this movie,
he planned everything in this fucking movie.
Yeah,
it sounds lame, but
I know. But at the same time, I'm like, look, Obi-Wan said he's not ready. If Mace Windu was really down, he should have been like, you're right. Keep that motherfucker at home. Why would you put Anakin, the dude that you so-called don't really trust right now,
on this huge ass mission?
Exactly. But that's what I like though, is they're that blind.
But doesn't he say that he doesn't trust him, or is that in the third one?
I think he says
they don't trust him from the get though.
Exactly. But they still, like I said, Obi-Wan, the dude that's been training him, is telling you guys he's not ready. And Yoda and Mace Windu both push it aside and then talk about the arrogant. The arrogant, exactly.
So they're kind of like proving their own point.
Exactly. But yes. I like that though, because again, that is what is showing this this blindness, that they're so high up on Coruscant doing this bullshit, they're missing out on everything. They can't even see what's right in front of them, and I love that. I love that part.
Let me say too that
I wish it went further.
Yes, I agree with you. And my favorite aspect of this film back then and still to this day is anything that has to do with Obi-Wan and Jango Fett. Because this is the only time you see a Jedi actually going on like a fucking detective quest and asking questions.
Dude, that was also really cool though. Like when he pulled up, and first off, it's a beautiful fucking planet. What's the name of the planet?
Camino,
bro. Beautiful fucking planet, bro. Oh my goodness, I love it.
The Bespin of the ocean.
I be playing Battlefront on that shit and blasting motherfuckers on there. But, dude, what I really loved was just like how it was like that slow reveal of the clones, and then you finally got to see like them all lined up, and it still looked pretty good actually.
And you're like, wait, so they're on the side of the Republic,
right?
And the Jedi are leading them, so eventually this is gonna go wrong,
right? So you saw how it was like lining up in a way, you know what I mean?
And then Jango Fett, you know, the father of Boba Fett, I guess you could say, he's the template for all the clones. That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, I like also like when Obi-Wan comes to the door and shit, like his son just doesn't trust him from the jump.
You see him? Sure.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
Suspicious.
There's just so much tension. The son's like, oh, who the fuck?
Now think about that.
He's up and down like 2 times and shit.
And he's a complete. Think about how weird that shit is, dude. Okay, hold on. I've never actually really thought of this, dude. Think about how strange that whole fucking situation is. Jango Fett asks for a clone of himself to raise as his fucking son. That's bizarre. That's crazy. Well, and think about how he kind of fucking mirrors Anakin, who was a kid in that sense, who didn't have a fucking father. He doesn't have a mother. So that gives him a little bit of weird validation, I guess. I'd never really thought of it until I'm taking bong rips right now. That's what's cool about Star Wars, is you can just get baked and think about shit all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy shit.
That's what I like about fucking this movie, is it has a lot of good identities in that moment. And the shit with Anakin and his mom was good. I didn't really like the shit with him and Padme though, and how that was executed. Yeah, but the mom shit was good. But the shit where he was going after his mom was when the real tension started mounting in this fucking movie. Agreed, bro. And it actually felt really fucking like powerful. Visceral. He was like, I have to get there. It was like fucking eating him alive, dude. Yeah. Hey, fuck, like, if you think about it, the Padme shit was just him trying to... Dude, I know he had been dreaming about Padme and shit. It just shifts too much from, like, Padme to mom, and his feelings. But at the same time, though... It's very, like, Oedipus complex Well, think about it this way. Think about it this way, right? Padme is almost a way to keep his mind off of the bullshit, dude. Like... He can't even really sleep at night. So and think about how much he loves his mother, that he's willing to abandon this woman that he's thought about for 10 years. Right. To go look for. I mean, that's his mom, dude. Right. So, like, in the daytime, he's kind of absorbing Padme as much as he can to help forget about, the fact that he can't go help his mom right now. You know what I mean? Just like in this crazy ass situation. So that shit in itself is fucking a trip and a half, really, if you think about it. Like, Anakin has so much shit on his brain, and his whole life has really been like pushed and forced around to where he really doesn't have a decision on what he wants to do anyway. Even fucking Padme crosses him and is like, oh, don't listen to him, he's just a Padawan and shit. Like, he's by himself on the mission.
Like,
what are you talking about? Like, don't disrespect me like that.
What is your suggestion, Master Jedi?
Oh, Anakin's not a Jedi yet. He's still a Padawan learner. But I was thinking...
Hold on a minute.
But
You know what I mean?
what's still kind of weird is, and I know we shouldn't be addressing this now, but the whole thing, like, now he's grown up and Padme's like the same age.
Listen.
It's like weird.
Listen.
They get the age shit all fucked up in Star Wars. Like, the Phantom Menace takes place 30 years before A New Hope. How hard has Obi-Wan been drinking on fucking Tatooine, dude, watching Luke?
Well, Tatooine is hot as fuck.
And it's got 2 sons.
Crispy, bro. You get he's like, yo.
The gravitational pull. People age fast on Tatooine.
Yeah, bro. You never
Look like
know
a bunch
that
of
shit.
Remember that old bitch that was like,
you never
hey,
know.
Remember that old tweaker looking bitch in the Phantom Menace? It's like, storm's coming, and ain't better get in.
Oh yeah.
She's probably 25.
Yeah. Exactly. See
that Tatooine shit.
Yeah, but all right. What else do you got? You got anything else good? What else you like? How about the finale?
Christopher Lee was great.
Okay, so Dooku.
His interaction with Obi-Wan about the Sith was great, and I wish he would have been in the movie more, honestly. But it was kind of cool how he was mysterious.
Yeah, they didn't know him you didn't see him for a while.
But his character was an homage to the Hammer films Dracula.
That's what it felt like.
Like the whole end sequence is pretty epic, I guess, but it's kind of weird. But we'll talk about that in the bad.
Yeah,
the bad. But
Let me
like
see.
the whole end of this movie is fucking action packed, dude.
Yeah,
and it just goes from like bad to worse to good to bad,
all over the place. Really
nuts.
It's not really a good, but I kind of like how they made Padme like kind of resemble Leia in a way, like with the outfit that she was rocking and like how she was like maneuvering through shit and shit. I was like, okay, so like they're kind of showing you like she's capable of something, getting shit done when it needs to be done in a way too. You know what I mean? But she obviously ain't like tight like that. Like that's why it was kind of whack at the same time. But it was all right. I liked it kind of. So
Yoda fighting was cool, I guess. In the theater, it was a cool experience. See, that's the thing that affects your fucking perception of a film is your theater going experience on movie night. Perfect example, Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
I had a great time with my son, and he was with his best friends and all that, and then, like, you start thinking about the movie, and you're like, damn, that was a fucking pile of
But that's
dust.
what makes a good movie is when you can watch it afterwards, and it's not just based on the theater fucking hype. Because it's the same thing for us. Like, okay, so you talk about your first experience, bro. When we saw this movie, we ditched school to go see this fucking movie.
Oh,
bro.
yeah, and you guys, like walked out on it, right?
No, we didn't walk out. We watched the whole movie, but we were just
But
like,
you thought it was just dastardly, huh?
I was just like, bro, that was such a waste of time, bro. Like, we just waited for the end. I was like, Yoda got down. Like, we were tripping. All we were talking about at the end was, like, the Yoda fight. You know what I mean? But like I said, getting older and shit, the Yoda fight is interesting.
But it's not the high point of the movie.
Not at all, dude. And I actually enjoy the fight with Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Dooku more.
I like Obi-Wan and Jango Fett, dude, on Kamino.
That was a great fight, too, honestly. There's some
It was a raw-ass fight.
There's some pretty decent fights.
You know, that was like a fucking kicks him in the face and shit.
This movie goes to a lot of places, too, if you think about it. Like, there's a lot of locations on this movie. You got Coruscant, you got Kamino, you got the fucking
Geonosis, Tatooine.
Yep.
So the Star Wars movies, as flawed as they were in their execution, at least kept upping the ante as far as the release order of the locales.
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely a step up from the Phantom Menace in a lot of ways. I enjoyed this a lot more than the Phantom Menace, and as creepy as it is,
But if you thought this was a waste of time, like Like, what did you think of the Phantom Menace though when you first saw it?
I can't even remember, bro. I was so young. Like, I didn't even really fuck with Star Wars like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Really?
I wasn't big on it like that. Like then, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
So why'd you guys ditch school to go to see Attack of the Clones? Because there's something to do.
Yeah, we wasn't doing shit. It's kids, bro. Fuck it. Movies out. Let's go
So
see
you
it.
didn't ditch school to go see it because you were like a fan?
No,
Okay.
not at all. We just did school to just go see it because we just did school to go see that.
And
shit.
you guys were not excited about it.
It was okay. It was okay. But watching it now, I have a different perspective. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel. That's how I feel about a lot of movies, honestly. It's like that initial shit really isn't.
That comes with age because you start fucking up and you realize that what these characters go through is a reality.
Well,
that you could just do completely retarded shit.
That and it's also just like
because you're greedy, you know, and you
have
want
to
things.
Well, yeah, exactly. As a kid, you just expect shit, and like I don't know, like when you're an adult, like you can respect the craft of things being done a little bit more because you know what the effort of putting some shit is. When
I'm talking about like the characters in the films themselves start making mistakes. You're like, man, I made a couple of those myself.
No, I don't even think about that because that's relative anyway. Like depending on what the fuck happens, you know what I mean? Like, but what I do notice is like I'm a little bit more lenient on shit than I used to be. Because I understand the craft and like dedication of shit that is required a little bit more, you know what I mean? But if it's just some shit that doesn't make any sense, then we have a problem. But this movie doesn't have really that problem, you know what I mean? It's a very coherent story in almost all respects and all manners. If you really think about it, like it's in a way, it's better than the Phantom Menace because the Phantom Menace you don't really have that.
There's less Jar Jar.
There's less Jar Jar, and the lead up and where we're going in the Phantom Menace is very confusing. You know what I mean? Like to the final battle.
Kid.
It's like, well, like when you get to the final battle in the apex of the movie, it's versus Darth Maul, but it's just like the lead up to it and everything that happens that ensues is kind of strange. Whereas at least in the second movie, like you know exactly what the
there's a
fuck's
clear,
going on.
yeah.
It's a very very clear message of exactly how the fuck they're trying to get this.
So it's more of a streamlined story,
right? Which is why I think it's a better story. In
it
general,
was co-written by someone. You know, did you know that?
Right. Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, George Lucas did not write the entire. He wrote the story, but he didn't write the screenplay. It was him and someone else.
I think I like Phantom Menace more, but I think that Attack of the Clones is a better movie overall. I get the boringness of it all, but if you really look at what's going on with Anakin, I guess that's the main thing they're trying to come across. You don't, in a lot of movies, bro, you barely get that much like character growth. He just doesn't do it well, bro. That's the problem, and the lines are just whack. If he had better lines, those situations.
He's trying to be too 1930s
dude,
about
exactly. It's almost too Broadway. It's too Broadway.
But that's his intention. But people don't appreciate that now.
You can't do that, and it doesn't come across really well in this
doesn't
fucking
age
fantasy.
very well.
This fantasy world too, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I get it, they're knights and shit, but at the same time, like, he should have some kind of grit to him. Like, his grit is very strange, you know? But I still respect that shit and enjoy what they tried to bring across in this movie. But that's about it I got for good, man. I'm trying my best.
I know.
I'm trying my best, bro.
You ready to savage this motherfucker?
Alright, bro.
Let's just beat a dead horse now.
Okay. So, dude, Anakin is the creepiest no game having ass motherfucker I've ever seen in the entire history of cinema, bro. Yo, he is creepy. Yo. At one part, he's like walking like he's like meditating or some shit. And she like comes in, they're on the patio, and they're like hanging off the edge, and she has her hands out.
Dude, this is like painful to even talk about, bro.
And she says,
"Get it out."
She says something, and he like puts his hand on her hand and like glazes her, and then he just like slowly putting his like thumb down to like her shoulder blade or her back, and I was like, what kind of bro, what are you doing right now? She already said you're making me uncomfortable 2 times before this.
Why not?
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Sorry, milady. Here everything is soft and smooth.
Before you got on the plane, she's like, bro, knock it off.
And then on the plane, he was fucking spitting game in the fucking mess hall.
And like that's when she gets the first kiss, and she's like, no, we shouldn't or whatever. But I'm like, bro, you just like forced your way in there, kind of, dude. Like that wasn't cool at all. It was.
She had like Stockholm syndrome almost.
It was fucking ugly, dude. It's such a. The chemistry is terrible. It's a horrible, horrible set of scenes. He feeds her a pear, and when the bitch bites into it, it magically disappears. I fucking do not like anything that happens in the fields of Naboo. That's another planet you go to.
Oh, yeah.
Naboo.
Like, dude, you just wish that it would like supernova.
Bro.
Like, that's the fate. You just want Naboo to be erased.
Bro.
And
then,
the Gungans with it.
And then when they're like in the fields, he's like, yo, he's like, the politicians need to sit down and listen to what the people want, and then they need to vote or whatever. And she's like, that's what they do or whatever. And he's like, no, they need to force somebody to do that shit. And I'm like, bro, you've been forcing her. She looked at him and stopped smiling, and she's like, oh, you're joking. And he's like, no, I'd never. I was like, bro, he's telling you right now. He is aggressive. Yeah. He is aggressive. You've seen 6 signs of aggressiveness. In the next movie, it's gonna get way more aggressive. You know what I mean?
Their relationship is so weird.
It's
in this movie.
the most. Their chemistry is terrible, bro. I don't know what they were thinking. Anakin.
It's almost worse than Jar Jar.
It's 100% worse than Jar Jar because you can't
it's
fault Jar
to the
Jar.
Story.
Jar Jar's who he is.
And Jar Jar votes the Emperor into power. That's even worse.
But like you got to think about it this way: like Jar Jar's just a race of like aliens, and they all kind of talk that way. Like you can't really fault them for that. It's George. You can fault George for the creation, but once the creation's in Star Wars,
it was just the delivery.
It's exactly. It just doesn't come out right. He's just an annoying character. But you know who else is annoying? Steve Urkel. Family Matters does great. It happens, bro. You see what I'm saying?
I guess so.
It's part of it. It's part of it, you know. But what I do fucking think is the way that Anakin just forces this woman into this relationship, bro, is so weird. It's
pretty wild.
Bro. And everybody kind of just accepts it too. Like R2-D2's like beeping and shit. Like
no one says anything.
R2-D2's the only one who peeps.
It's like that mom that let the fucking dad rape the kids and she didn't say anything. It's like her fault. She's complicit.
Or like that mom who was fucking that child called her kid it or whatever.
Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah, you never heard about that?
No,
bro. It's a book too. There's this chick back in the day. She used to call her kid it, and she like had him in the basement, fed him like dog food and shit.
That's amazing.
But all the other kids were fucking upstairs, like living life normal and shit.
Why?
I don't know. She just didn't like that kid or whatever. She's all crazy and shit. Kid ended up getting away, and then ended up writing a book about that shit.
That is fucking wild.
Like he ended up getting away on the highway, and a cop ends up like pulling the kid over or whatever and finding out and all this crazy shit. But anyways, yeah. So that's the one thing I think is absolutely fucking disgusting, though, is the way that Anakin is.
He's very Ted Bundy.
Yeah,
he is the Ted Bundy of Star Wars.
It's so hard to watch, man. And when he gets mad when his mom dies, I almost was like, fucking good.
Aw,
bro, because dude,
we just talked about how great that story, that
because
arc
was. I like the arc, but I'm just
but
saying,
this
like,
taints that arc.
Yes,
because you don't feel bad for him because he's a fucking rapist.
Exactly. It's just
so you're like, you're kind of looking at his mom like, you gave fucking birth to an abomination of the forest.
Well, it's not her fault either, because
but that's even more proof. This is even more proof that he's actually Palpatine's fucking son.
He has to be.
He has to be. Look how creepy Palpatine is. He's his ultimate creep. He fights like this, dude. Dude, he's a fucking hater, dog. Sidious is a Mac Daddy. I love that man.
He's got game, bro. The way
He's got
dude,
game and game on top of game.
Bro, we didn't talk about fucking the way that
he runs the show the whole time.
He runs it
all
so
9
well.
episodes,
bro. But he runs it so well in episode 2, where he's like, "You should send Anakin," and they like all were like, "Okay." They're all like, "Great idea."
You know what?
Where'd that come from? Thanks, dog. You're a genius.
I'm glad I thought of that. Thanks.
Yo, like that shit had me rolling. Actually, that was a good part too. You know what I mean? Like I said, this movie, if it just didn't have that weird fucking middle moment with Anakin and them trying to force his Padme love before the next movie, the movie could have been a lot better.
There is some horrid shit in this movie. Like, the more I think about it, it's taking me on like a bad trip.
Dude, remember when he fucking meets Dax or whatever the fuck?
You see funny little cuts on the side that give it away.
Dude, but yeah, remember
Let's
Dax?
go down the fucking rabbit hole right now for the fucking spiraling into the fucking abyss that is the Attack of the Clones in reality.
Yeah.
Folks, this fucking movie is a Sarlacc pit of fucking good writing and plot. And there's 2 Deus Ex Machinas in this, maybe 3 or 4 actually.
It's like 5.
5.
No?
Let's count them. Number 1, Deus Ex Machina. Well, we don't have to do them in order. Yoda and the clones.
Which part?
When they were in the arena.
Okay.
And then who saves their ass? No, because their ass gets saved 3. Okay. No. First, they get their ass saved by the Jedi. That's Deus Ex Machina 1.
What about Anakin saving Obi-Wan when he fell and he grabbed the car and he drove
That was
his car?
literally a fucking...
Like
yes, I guess so.
That man, bro, like...
That would have ripped his arms off.
The amount of skill it would have taken to fight... I get it, they're Jedis and shit.
You gotta give Anakin
like,
this.
But he does pod racer, though.
He doesn't have game with women, but with combat... he's got prowess.
That and he's got prowess with like technology and shit. Like
yeah,
like I say, he can
you
drive.
Can't really take that away.
Nah, he can drive
from
shit.
him.
But yeah, so like that's a Deus Ex though for sure. It was Anakin catching Obi-Wan falling through Coruscant's fucking magical fucking floors for a bajillion feet.
So the Jedi save them, and then the Jedis and the clones save the Jedis, and then Yoda saves Anakin and Obi-Wan from Dooku. And that's it, I guess. But that's in one fucking set piece.
Yeah, that all happens in one scene.
It was like a Matryoshka doll of Deus Ex Machinas. Open one, there's another. There's another. There's another. There's another. The absolute fucking worst line in Star Wars is in this movie.
What's the worst line?
This is such a drag by C-3PO. Fuck you, George Lucas. For that fucking line.
Now, where are you taking me? This is such a drag.
Are you dragging the head?
If
do you think that's the worst
I love
line?
you, man. Okay, like you created Star Wars. Look. But for that line, I would punch you in the fucking face if I saw you.
Do you think?
Oh! You'd be walking on the street with Steven Spielberg talking about, where do you think we should still do Indiana Jones profile? Boom!
Catch you with the hook.
What's up, cuz? Bust that big ass. I'd bust his neck open and all these spiders would come crawling out. Just like in Scary Stories,
Start
baby.
dripping grease.
Oh, yeah. It's weird how he looks like
from like the public mall.
Dexter Jeckster.
Yeah. Wow, I'm gonna put that up.
Lucas has got game, though.
I'm trying to think of a line that I thought was even worse than that.
You can't. Why would that be in a fucking movie at all? In that context? Dude, that line is so bad. Guys, I'm going to tell you.
It is a really
I'm going to tell
line.
you. I'm going to tell you my relationship with this line.
God.
Is that at one point.
That's worse than the sand line.
I went into like this weird. Like psychotic like break where I convinced myself, I think, that his daughter must have convinced him to put that in the fucking movie or some shit like that. And I told myself that for years and years. I'm like, there's no way he would put that line in there. And then I really just came to terms with, I think he really did write that. But I'm like, I convinced myself that I had read it somewhere that he was like, "Hey, honey, I'm gonna let you write one line of Attack of the Clones. What part? I want to have R2D2 dragging C-3PO's head, and he says, it's such a drag." And he'll go, "Oh, fuck, I should have said, you promised, Daddy. You promised, Daddy. And you're gonna let me have a cameo in Revenge of the Sith."
Oh no, man, that is a pretty bad line. That whole
Bro,
part,
it's
though,
so bad.
If you think about it, though, R2D2 and C-3PO in this movie go on like the most ridiculous adventure any fucking way.
Bro, R2D2 flies.
Yeah, he flies.
Do you know how many times that would have saved their ass?
Right.
Maybe his shit was broken. I guess he
doesn't
was
make-
all busted up. But they could have fixed him up.
Bro, it doesn't make any sense. They just brought that shit out of nowhere. And like, bro, like R2D2 does some crazy
And it
shit.
just gets crazier with Revenge of the Sith.
It
He
gets
does
even
crazy.
Yeah, he gets like that motherfucker without
But
him.
he flew.
Yeah, without and yeah, he flew and set some motherfuckers on fire, didn't he?
Yeah.
Motherfucker raw, bro. Like,
But
hit him
in
with oil and shit.
Attack of the Clones, he like flew like for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
He was like,
He like flew over the boilers or somewhere.
Yeah.
The fuck he was.
and that's another thing I hate about this movie and just the prequels in general are the battle droids are just, they're just not a like threatening thing, and they're just like,
Super lame.
it's like when the Jedi are like have the upper hand, you don't care, and then when they're getting killed, you're like, how are you letting these droids dust you guys? You guys are Jedi. Like, this is stupid.
Right.
I guess it was like a numbers thing. I don't know, because then when you watch the Clone War cartoons, like the Genndy Tartakovsky shorts, like Mace Windu takes out this entire fucking army by himself, and you're like, well,
The fuck is the point?
like-
And he didn't have a lightsaber.
exactly.
He did all that with no lightsaber.
Maybe they just made him too OP, and I don't know.
But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like I completely agree. Like it just doesn't. The droids in general doesn't really hit hard at all, and you just kind of get this like lacking feeling. The substance just doesn't feel like it's there.
And he copied that thing with Obi-Wan attached to the asteroid. I'm like, wow. And they used asteroids. I'm like, you ripped off your own movie. And like those fucking Geonosians, I get kind of like tired of watching like their wings flap around like a bunch of roaches. which
Yeah.
I hate roaches. And those characters just didn't age well to me. You know, they look like Toy Story bullshit to me.
Fucking.
Very like Pixar-ish.
You know what? Like,
And might I add, you need to pull up a screenshot of the arena. Try and pull up like Dooku with Jango Fett and the fucking Trade Federation guys standing on that balcony. The whole
where it's
arena,
all lightsabers.
bro. The arena is made of vaginas. The entire Geonosian arena is made of vaginas, dude. And you start wondering what kind of complex George Lucas has that he didn't see this, or maybe he did it intentionally. I don't know, dude.
Like all the doors or whatever that are fucking.
Everything. The
Really?
entire arena is made of vaginas with clitorises included.
Wow.
That entire balcony is fucking vaginas. Like, you haven't noticed this?
I haven't.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a fucking perv.
No, I never looked, but I didn't even look. No, you might be right.
Well, we can't show it like on the stream right now.
Right.
We'll do it in post, but
Yeah, afterwards.
you'll see what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
you guys.
I wanna
Maybe it's
see
just me. Maybe it's some of that fucking Rorschach test shit where I see vaginas, but you guys don't see vaginas.
You might be right. It might be right.
But it was the same thing with the arena as it was with me with the. Tell me you saw the cocks in fucking Man of Steel.
Of course.
Okay. So to me, the arenas in Attack of the Clones were like the dicks in Man of Steel. It was just pussies everywhere, and I was like,
Well, yeah, the dicks
the
in Man
fuck?
of Steel is ridiculous.
well,
I didn't really.
the acting was better than in Phantom Menace, but it was still pretty shitty.
Yeah, like it just felt like I said, it just felt too Broadway.
Yeah, too ham-fisted. Again, Revenge of the Sith seemed like it was the only story that he wanted to tell.
Right, and everything else was just getting up to
Yes.
there, forcing it to get there, and it just feels like this movie, no pun intended, it's forced.
Yeah, that's a good one though, my friend.
But it really is though. It's
Everything with Anakin and Padme is 100% terrible.
It's awful.
It's
the
fucking.
hardest fuck.
It's worse than like Twilight, actually.
It's 10 times worse than Twilight. At least in Twilight,
Oh man, it's exponentially worse than Twilight.
well, because in like, dude,
because it's Star Wars. That's why.
not only that, but like, dude, you're
It's
like,
just awful.
well, no, listen, okay, so look,
It's terrible in every way.
In Twilight,
She's
right?
a MILF for one thing in this, and you know she's like the teacher raping the student.
Well,
to
not
me.
even any of that, bro. Listen, in Twilight, he's a fucking vampire. If he
get it.
smashes, it's gonna be like he's got to be careful how he's in that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How he swim in there. So they got to tread them waters carefully anyway.
I can't believe we're like defending Twilight right now.
Listen,
but anyway,
but Anakin has to tread the water lightly because they just have different jobs. that's the main reason why they can't. You know what I mean? Why they can't do the thing that they want to do right now is they just got different gigs, and then their gigs wouldn't allow them to do it. But realistically, most people on the low would do that shit any fucking way, which is what exactly happens. But the way that it happens is like it makes no fucking sense. You know, if you think about it, in Twilight, it's also nasty too because isn't that nigga old as fuck? The vampire? Ain't he like 100-year-old? He a perv, bro. So they both pervs. But Anakin he's creepy pervy, bro. But
that's because he's Palpatine's son.
But the fact that Padme accepted that shit makes it even weirder. Because she's like, okay, how old was Padme in Phantom Menace? Let's ballpark.
Like 14.
No way. As the
Her
queen?
character? Yeah.
As the queen? She's 14? Okay,
And
so
he was 9.
that's not that far apart.
And
man.
Obi-Wan is 19.
Okay, so in
Do the math.
wait, when's
It's all
Clone
crazy.
Wars? When's Clone Wars?
When?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's 10 years, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's 10 years
Oh, yeah.
exactly, right?
10 years later.
Okay, so
So Obi-Wan's 29 and he looked like he's fucking...
it's
40.
space time, bro. Okay, so
I get it. He's got this mullet. The mullet is terrible.
Padme's 24
Fucking mullet.
and Anakin's 19.
Yeah. So
That's not that bad.
That's not that bad.
That's not that bad. That's not that bad.
I don't know. But it's
It's just
weird.
the chemistry is just what makes it bad.
Why
then.
couldn't they just been the same fucking age,
That's
though?
not even a problem then. That's
but,
not even
but
a
why?
problem.
But why
You know
couldn't
what?
they have just been the same age?
I retract my statement. Twilight's way creepier. That dude's 145 or some shit trying
Yeah,
to
but
get
he's a vampire, man.
trying to get in the little 16-year-old sweet vagina, bro. He knows how to swim in
What's
them
he
shits.
supposed to do? Fuck a 145-year-old dead man?
He's supposed to be swimming in mummy pussy, bro.
I'll get older. They stay the same age. all right.
Nah, I don't know, man. But I guess the age isn't the issue. Then the issue is just the creepiness of how Anakin has no.
He's
game.
just the like Ted Bundy shit.
No
like,
game,
is he
bro.
going to? He just massacred a village. It's possible he could massacre her by the end of the film.
Yeah, he's
okay.
terrible.
The worst thing about this movie, besides it's a drag, is this tonal shift from "I just massacred a village of people" to "Let's go rescue Obi-Wan."
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, they never even really mentioned that shit.
Bro, it's not like we'll talk about this later. Like, they just kind of broomed it. Was that intentional, though? But see-
because like he
but
did on
see,
the low.
Was that intent? No. Well, but was that intentional that she fell in love with him? Despite that, did that make her a tragic character? I guess we'll never know. That just makes her stupid to me. That was a bad career move.
Yeah, she should have been
You
like.
just got pregnant by Ted Bundy.
She should have been like, "Oi."
Yeah, right?
Oi,
I got shit to do.
let me get up out of here.
Oil.
It's just like,
I'm leaving.
bro, that's yeah. She should have dropped that right there when she heard he killed
She
her.
should have been like, I gotta go home.
Right?
I'm gonna head out.
Because didn't he say that he killed the babies too or some shit?
Yeah.
Right.
And she's like, I'm gonna let this guy make a baby with me so he can kill that one too.
What the fuck?
Which he almost did, and which he thought he did.
He fucking
Man.
really told her that shit, and she
You
accepted
know
it.
what?
Bro, their chemistry is trash, bro.
I've really never even thought about this to this extent.
That's crazy how bad that is.
He just killed children. Let's have twins.
I killed them all. And not just the men, but the women. And the children, too.
And she was
They're
with
like
it.
animals.
I just
Over
killed-
one trip. Dude, think about it. You have a dude who's bugging you on before the car ride when you first meet him, and you're like, "Hey, we're gonna do this." She's like, "Yo, you're bugging me. Like, leave me alone. I'll always see you as little Annie. Leave me alone." And then the next time you're by yourself with him and shit, and she's like, "Listen, this is uncomfortable." And then the next time you're out meditating, but she need to come outside too. You guys are in the same place, and then you make it awkward again, and then she still's like, "No." After the kiss, it's like, bro, it's like,
doesn't
what
make
do
any
you?
sense, man.
What do
It's
you
a
do?
fucking hotbed of fucking scandal.
Yeah, I don't fucking know where this movie was going with that shit. That's the worst. That's the hardest thing to get behind. Is half of the things you just can't get behind because of the initial interactions between Padme and Anakin. I could see if Padme was a little bit nicer. Bro, she rejected him 5 times. If she was a little bit nicer on the approach, and then maybe she flirted with him and he was a little bit nervous and then flirted back, you got that kind of interaction, you'd be in a much better situation, right? But the fact that it's just like Anakin just applying pressure the whole time. He's been sweating about it and shit. He's telling Obi-Wan, "I've been dreaming about her for 10 years. He should have, Obi-Wan should be like, "Yo, relax, little dude. Like, calm your little Peter, Padawan."
Here's a story about this fucking movie. The third time I saw it in theaters, it was at the Luxor at the IMAX. Remember that? Back in the day?
Yep.
This was before you could come and go in an IMAX theater like a regular theater. You had to be fucking strapped in like a big roller coaster. They were like, if you need to use a bathroom, do it now. This was in 2002. This was 18 fucking years ago. This was a lifetime ago. So this big fucking bar comes down, and I saw Attack of the Clones in IMAX, and at first it was fucking amazing, dude. I was like, this is crazy, dude. The crawl was coming up from underneath my fucking seat, dude. I was like, this is fucking crazy, dude. You know what I'm saying? And then the fucking Padme and Anakin scenes start to happen on this huge fucking screen. And I'm like, I need to get out of this fucking movie right now. But I can't because they put a fucking bar, dude. And they're like, if you need to get out of this movie, we need to stop the movie,
everything.
raise the bar. I'm like, how are you going to be stuck in here for fucking 2.5 hours? You can't piss, anything.
Can't do nothing.
And I was like, man, I kind of want to just like go home right now. Because I was like, this is the third time I've seen it.
Right.
And it was like this edited version too.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so they actually edited out like some of the Anakin and Padme bullshit.
Really?
But not enough. Not all of it. Yeah, they edited out a couple of things in it. I don't remember what.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. But
It needed to be edited out, though.
little things here and there. It was just like 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there. Snippets.
I also kind of like... I don't really like anything else, but...
No, we're not on like. We're on...
I know, but...
just skull fucking this corpse.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh, dude, okay. No, I guess that's for the next movie. Never mind.
What about just some of the horrid lines in this movie? Like,
I'm good at fixing things. Always was. Believe me, I wish that I could just wish away my feelings.
If only Senator Amidala were here.
That he
So-
looks like that.
let's see. With this shit with Dooku and Yoda fighting, like, over the years, when you look at Dooku, it's weird. And the fight between him and Obi-Wan, dude, to go
It's a strobe light.
from Darth Maul, Obi-Wan fighting Darth Maul to him fighting Dooku was like,
Ooh, I heavily agree on that. It was such a bad,
Such a fucking
it was a huge
letdown.
letdown. Big facts. All the lightsaber scenes in general in this were pretty much let down.
But they were really not going for that. This movie is different than the Phantom Menace, though.
Fact.
Definitely has a difference. You got to give them credit.
It's trying to do so many themes and shit, and trying to push this narrative.
Yeah.
Heavy. That's what I'm saying. Like the Phantom Menace, when you think about it, like if you're watching it halfway through, you don't really know where it's going. But halfway through this, you can exactly tell where it's going because they're pushing this Anakin Padme fucking narrative down your throat.
I thought everything with Obi-Wan and the clones and Geonosis and the Separatists was all fucking great.
I loved all that shit.
Anytime you go back to Anakin and Padme, it's like
that's the worst.
These are the
bro.
people you're supposed to be caring about the
so
most.
Hard to get through,
and you're like,
terrible. It's just such bad acting and chemistry. I just can't. That's the worst part. Like that's me. Is anytime they're together, I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Get back to the cool stuff.
Exactly. Get back to the mystery of it all, bro. All the Django shit, all that shit was awesome, bro. But everything else was just, and like I said, Dax too. The whole diner shit was very weird. It was
pretty weird.
That was pretty.
It was supposed to be a callback to American Graffiti, but we don't care about that when we're watching Star Wars.
And it looked horrible. It did not hold up well.
You want a cup of Jawa juice? Ass all hanging out of his pants.
Yeah, Dax looked terrible.
These Kaminoans, they're cloners. Cloners.
How big your pocketbook is. Yeah, that part was whack too. I'm trying to think of something else I really, really did not like about this movie. But it's just every time I think about it, I just keep coming back
to just
it.
Anakin and Padme.
That's it, man. I'm telling you, if you could find some way to wrap around that, but you need it in order to push the narrative for the next movie. He just fucked up.
Just Ted Bundy, man.
How could okay.
I wish that I could just wish away.
How could they?
Did they really fucking like write that down, then film it, then edit it, dude? No one said anything. He probably thought that was fucking clever as fucking sliced bread, dude. He's like, I wish I could just wish away. I wish I could wish away. I wish I could just wish away. I just kept saying it over and over to himself. I think George Lucas watches that movie often by himself.
What, the second one?
Yes.
You think so?
Naked.
I don't know. Maybe.
Talks to himself. Like he mouths every line.
He knows every word.
Look.
Oh, fuck. I forgot what I was going to say.
His mom was like beat the fucking crap, and he's like, I'm going to get you out of here. Like, bro, she's game over.
True.
And then when she dies, like, as fucking horrible as that thing is, she just goes, wah.
Yeah, she just like croaks over super quick.
She was like a blow up doll.
Yeah, that looked whack.
Just the guy was done with her.
That was terrible.
Jar Jar broke the fourth wall. And he's
super weird in this.
The fact that I'm gonna tell you, man, that when I saw this movie in the theater for like the second or third time, maybe, I don't remember. Maybe the second time. Someone in the audience, after the audience was dead silent. And when he goes, "Oh, me's so happy to see you, sir," whatever the fuck he says to Obi-Wan, someone in the audience went, "Shut the fuck up!" And it's like no one said anything, dude. Like, "Hey, we're watching Star Wars, buddy," or anything. I got my kids here. No one said anything, and it completely sucked the energy out of the fucking entire rest of the fucking experience, dude. Like,
that's funny. He was pretty annoying, and it was funny because they even like hinted at they wanted him to shut up because they show he's talking to her about like she's about to leave or whatever, and then she goes, "Okay, thank you. I'm sure you have more important shit to do."
Jar Jar, I don't wish to hold you up. I'm sure you have a great deal to do.
Like, and then they
and he
send
goes,
him off.
"But lady,
Yeah, he sends him off or whatever. So like you can tell that like they got it too, but they still had to keep him in there.
I feel
Which
bad
don't
for
get
that actor.
Like why did they keep Jar Jar in there? Why couldn't they just have it be somebody else?
I feel bad for that actor because
hold on. Is fucking Jar Jar's only reason is to be just a fucking
comic relief.
Well, no, he's serving as a politician for Naboo. You telling me that they couldn't have grabbed nobody else? They really think Jar Jar, the man who accidentally won his way to the fucking end of the army, is like
one
capable,
time 10 years ago,
right? Is like gonna be capable of fucking
and chorus it,
right?
That's like making Forrest. Hold on.
How does he know all the fucking politics and like rules and legislation and everything else?
Again, let's compare it to like America, like some real life. So let's say Trump is like president and there's an attempt on his life and he's like gets acid thrown in his face, right?
Batman.
Guess who was the one that helped give him emergency powers? Fucking Corky from that fucking stupid ass show.
Corky. Who the fuck? Corky.
What was that show with Corky? You guys remember that show?
Corky.
Life Goes On. Yeah, that's what the show. Remember Life Goes On where they had the Down syndrome son? Oh man, bad reference, guys. Maybe Forrest Gump.
Okay.
Forrest Gump said, "I think that we should give the Antichrist emergency powers." Okay, Forrest, let's fucking do it.
Like
he had acid thrown in his face.
Like, what has Jar Jar done to be represented in government?
I'm telling you, it would have been better if he had been a badass, but like you didn't know he was a badass till the very end. Remember?
Or like, okay, you realize people didn't like him in the first movie. Why would you make him more of
the
a
ambassador?
Right?
Because George Lucas thought that he was a great character and thought we were all wrong, and he wanted to rub that in our face. But
you know,
dude,
I get it though.
But dude,
I get it.
Jar Jar. Do you guys realize that Jar Jar actually breaks the fourth wall in this fucking movie?
What does he say?
He looks at the audience.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah, Jar Jar is terrible. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get. Why not just have him on the sideline or some shit? Like, come to visit or some shit. You know what I mean? You could have killed him off in the beginning with that chick. Oh, we didn't talk about that shit. Bro, at the beginning of the movie.
oh yeah, what's the Sifo Dyas bullshit?
Bro, at the beginning of the movie, the fucking chick, like, randomly dies. The clone, or not the clone, but the fake queen.
Yeah, the decoy.
You don't feel a goddamn thing. It's actually very confusing, even what the fuck's really going on.
And again, she goes.
She dies hella dumb.
Okay, in this next take, I want you to die hella dumb. Action.
All right. Well, what about anything else? What else you feel about this fucking movie, man? What else we got?
Nothing. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
It's done, bro. Like, it's.
I really actually hate it worse than the Phantom Menace. I think.
I feel you. And even after talking about it, I kind of feel the same way.
I feel kind of depressing just trashing it too, but I guess that's just how these things go.
Any fucking final words on this fucking movie, bro? Before we,
I think honestly,
end this movie?
we probably should have cut this review off like 25 minutes ago.
I'm gonna edit the fuck out of this.
But
shit,
yeah, we're
bro.
gonna edit it. So
I'm gonna slap it. Around.
I just hope the B fighters. We're putting a shout out for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are what makes this happen.
Exactly. They watching over there, so yo, appreciate y'all, man.
So with that, that's our Attack of the Clones review. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all. See y'all in the next fucking video. Peace.